Welcome back to our corny internet. Okay, so tonight read this vid by the Chronicles of Hip Hop, and the video is called How 808s and Heartbreaks Changed the Course of Music Forever. Yeah, whether you love Kanye or hate him, or as they dub himself now, Ye, you can't admit, when it comes to music, he's created bangers that will go down in history as the best of all time. But yeah, this was obviously before his fall from grace. But yeah, I'm just gonna dive right in and see how 808s and Heartbreaks changed the course of music. So without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Nah, but Gold Digger was a banger though. I ain't saying she a gold digger. She ain't messing with no broke niggas.
The year is 2007, and Kanye West was at the top of the world. His third studio album, Graduation, and 50 Cent's Curtis album were in the midst of a sales competition. Kanye greatly emerged victorious, and the album received wide praise from both fans and critics alike. By that time, Kanye had already cemented himself as a significant voice in the entire music industry, and his sound and style, which usually never portrayed any imagery of gangs or drugs, pushed the entire genre forward and created room for future generations of rappers who didn't go through violent childhoods and instead had different stories to share. People expected Kanye to follow his previous successes, but just when one would assume life couldn't get any better for Kanye, tragedy strikes. In November of 2007, Kanye's mother, Donda West, tragically passed away due to complications from cosmetic surgery. Afterwards, Kanye also had broke up with his longtime partner and fiancée Alexis Pfeiffer, and in the process, Kanye found himself in a position he's never been in before. But instead of succumbing to despair, he channeled his emotions into creating an album that would change everything. The remnants of these traumatic events and the media scrutiny had overwhelmed him, resulting in Kanye scrapping A Good Ass Job, which would have been the fourth installment in his series of school-themed albums, and completely starting all over again. Kanye wanted to express the emotional torment he was going through in his music, and he believed that in order to do that, he would have to change up the whole blueprint of his musical game plan and go beyond just rap. And so one of the most influential albums of the past decade was born. Kanye decided to name his fourth studio album 808s and Heartbreak, with the title being inspired by the Roland TR-808 drum machine and his obvious emotional torment at the time. The tone, the lyrics, and the overall atmosphere of the album were completely different from West's previous works. 808s and Heartbreak demonstrated Kanye West's creative genius and fearlessness as an artist, as he took a substantial risk by trading in the soulful samples and upbeat anthems for auto-tuned vocals, sparse instrumentation, and melancholic themes. One of the most significant contributions of 808s and Heartbreak was its sonic innovation. The heavy use of the Roland TR-808 drum machine, known for its distinct booming bass sounds, became the album's sonic foundation. This decision resulted in a distinct sound characterized by sparse instrumentals, auto-tuned vocals, and melancholic melodies, creating a unique atmosphere that had not been explored in mainstream rap before. In comparison, 808s was much darker, bleaker, and more emotionally distressing, which perfectly depicted Kanye's state of mind around that time. 808s and Heartbreak was a departure from the bravado and self-assuredness often associated with rap, and at its initial release, 808s was viewed as a controversial album.
Because I'm not a real hip-hop guy, so I was quite impressed with the new album because that was more music I would listen to. The electronics, I'm a 80s child, I listen to synthesizer bands and stuff.
Oh, wow, great. Yes, thank you. I'm glad somebody likes it other than just me. Because I get a lot of backlash about this album.
I can imagine, yeah. Unfortunately, I read a critic who wrote, you should sell headache pills with the album because he can't stand it. He said it gives him headaches.
Kanye's fan base was split right in the middle, and many criticized him for his use of auto-tune and the overall pop-centric aesthetic of the album.
Y'all little niggas like...
Let Lil Uzi put a song out with drums right now.
What do you mean with drums? You don't use drums?
Yeah, but it's 808s.
That's it. Because they're all 808 and Heartbreak dudes. They all just want boom.
Yeah.
This is why you want to know why there's a huge disconnect between the adults and kids of hip hop.
Yeah.
The album that most adults, not me, but the album that most adults said, this shit sucks. I don't ever want to hear this from Kanye West again. The kids were all like, this is finally
was
the
the
Kanye
yeah.
West I was waiting
Yeah.
for. Boom, hip hop divides. Old and young, right there.
Mm.
Considering where it stands today and the sheer level of influence it has had on the entire music industry at large, the biggest takeaway from the album would be that it was simply far too ahead of its time. Not only did 808s and Heartbreak bring forth a fresh sound, but it also introduced a level of emotional vulnerability rarely witnessed in hip-hop. The album explored themes of heartbreak, loss, and introspection, resonating with listeners on a deeply personal level. This emotional honesty helped break down barriers and open the doors for artists to explore their own insecurities in their music. Today, vulnerability and the concept of heartbreak and exploring the dark side and the alienation of fame is one of the most widely explored topics in rap music. And that is partly thanks to 808s. What Kanye was able to create with 808s by breaking down the stereotype of the tough and invincible rapper. Kanye opened the floodgates for others to embrace their own emotions in their music. It was a bold approach that challenged the industry's preconceived notions about what hip-hop could be. It paved the way for trap music, and some of the biggest names in hip-hop
What
today
is
wouldn't
this
exist,
pink ensemble
or at
here?
least wouldn't be who they are if it wasn't for 808s. Juice WRLD, Lil Uzi, Travis Scott, Drake, and so on have all cited Kanye as a major influence for their style of music. Juice in particular named 808s as one of his favorite albums.
Damn, you just had to throw this in here. I need to light my shit. Hold on. Seems like street lights glowing, happen to be just like moment passing. This is my shit, bro. I still owe my cousin the 808s and Heartbreak City. My broke head. That came out when I was like 7, 8 years old. And I was singing that shit. I was singing Streetlights really sad. Like I had some shit to be sad about. It was little shit going on, like, OG struggling and shit, but hey, no reason this is the 808s and Heartbreaks. That's some relationship shit, you know what I'm saying? This nigga, you know how people talk about those time travelers? Kanye is a time traveler. That nigga went to damn near 2015 and came back with some sauce.
While Uzi saying that it changed his life.
Changed my life.
I like both.
808s changed your life.
Yeah, it was fire. It made me wanna be like. I wasn't sad because I was young, but it made me wanna. I felt
Sad. You wanted to feel that.
Yeah, but I was too young. Man. I wasn't sad.
Another major influence for Kanye during the recording process of 808s would be Kid Cudi, an artist who was on the brink of reaching
Oh, I haven't heard,
himself.
I haven't heard Kid Cudi's name in ages, bruv. Not since All of the Lights. I have not heard that guy's name in ages, bruv. Nah, but that song, they still play that song. You know that one's like, day and night. That's something to free my mind. Yeah, they still play that. But yeah, haven't heard shit from this guy since. What happened to this guy?
Kid Cudi's musical style, which also explores themes such as loneliness, contributed to the album's looming sense of melancholy and dread. Beyond its musical impact, 808s and Heartbreak holds immense cultural significance. It challenged societal expectations of masculinity and helped to stigmatize conversations around mental health in the music industry. Another significant aspect of 808s and Heartbreak was Kanye's groundbreaking use of autotune. Rather than utilizing it as a mere vocal effect, Kanye transformed autotune into an artistic tool that added emotional depth and helped convey his feelings. However, Kanye wasn't the first to come up with the idea of heavily using autotune. In fact,
T-Pain
he
did
was
that.
actually influenced by singer T-Pain. But it's the way in which Kanye utilized autotune that pretty much opened the floodgates. Technically, Kanye wasn't much of a good singer, so he made his voice more palatable and
You know
melodic.
what makes you laugh though is, right? T-Pain, yeah, he started doing autotune. He started using autotune. And after he did that, a lot of people started using it. And then because it got so overused. And then T-Pain got all the shit for it because he did it first. He did it first. Poor guy, mind you. But T-Pain came out with bangers back in the day as well, actually. But I like how we reworked Bio Drake and did that song of K-Line with the reworking of Bio Drake. Fuck Kid at Christmas. The fuck.
with Auto-Tune, a piece of
When that song
software
came
that was
out.
loathed at the time for its association with T-Pain, a true innovator who became seen. After collaborating with T-Pain on the top 10 hit Good Life, and then experimenting with Auto-Tune while playing that song live, West recruited him to help with 808s, essentially making that sound cool again. This innovative use of Auto-Tune birthed a new era in music. Artists across different genres began incorporating Auto-Tune into their work, forever altering the musical landscape. The impact of 808s and Heartbreak on future artists cannot be overstated. It served as a blueprint for countless musicians who would later embrace similar sonic and emotional elements in their own work. Artists like Drake, Kid Cudi, and The Weeknd have acknowledged the profound influence this album had on their careers, and its sound can be heard in many subsequent rap and R&B releases. 808s and Heartbreak's influence can be heard in hit songs like Lonely by late South Carolina rapper Speaker Knockers from 2014. With the 4 piano notes being played, you can hear the youth taking West's 808s template as gospel. Young Thug is another artist of many that would not exist without this album. Future's spacey astronaut image would also not exist without this album. Another hit song where 808's influence can be heavily heard is on Dej Loaf's Try Me, where you can heavily hear Kanye's vocals from Heartless. For Lil Durk, Chief Keef, Soulja Boy, and countless others, showing up on a track sounding like you are drowning in the sound of your own voice is now as natural as an introductory ad-lib. Similarly, contemporary R&B would not glower at us from beneath a cloud of discontent and painkillers, if not for 808s. Drake, in particular, has stated that the album inspired his own approach to blending rap and R&B, while The Weeknd has acknowledged the impact it had on shaping his unique sound. Frank Ocean, too, has cited Kanye's vulnerability and willingness to experiment as a driving force behind his own critically acclaimed music. The influence of 808s and Heartbreak extended far beyond its initial release. It laid the groundwork for a multitude of artists who credit Kanye's album as a vital influence on their own careers. 808s and Heartbreak marked a turning point in mainstream rap, challenging the boundaries of what the genre could be. The album's introspective themes and experimental sound showcased the artistic versatility of rap music, paving the way for a more diverse range of styles and subject matters. It helped break down stereotypes and demonstrated that vulnerability and emotional depth could coexist within rap music.
Who you got to know?
Yeah, okay. Give this nigga his flowers. He did that, made an impact. But honestly, what I would have called it was, I would have put down how how T-Pain and Kanye changed the course of music forever with that. But yeah, what can I say? If it weren't for T-Pain, he wouldn't have and his contributions to this as well. Then would it have been as big as it was? Would it have made much of an impact? Fuck knows. But in Drummer Rant's commenting, other people saying right now. Someone commented, wow, so Kanye changed the music game forever. That's deep. I always loved his albums. That guy's a music genius. He might be a bit nuts, but musical genius. Can't take that away from him. Anyways, and Heartbreaks, My Darker Twisted Fantasy. Well, I'm pretty sure I even said the album wrong, but yeah. You know what album I mean, the one that has Monster on it. And All the Lights. That album. Someone commented, I'm an elder. I enjoy my old school rap. Today's rap can't hold a candle to back then music. Watch me when I'm old and grey say the same shit. The music of today is not like it's not like my day. Back in my day, we had Young Thug, Lil Uzi. I'm dead. Imagine. Don't get me started on this whole AI shit. It's like, just nah. Someone commented, bro, this album is a classic. Someone commented, yeah, but what about T-Pain? That album not only was influenced by his sound, he worked on the album and everybody seems to forget and just attribute the auto-tune thing to Kanye. Yeah, then the award goes to both of them. They should be sharing this award because not only did he introduce the auto-tune, but he also had a part to play in working on the album too, didn't he? T-Pain did. So yeah. Oh, this is making me want to just shout out to buy you a drink now. I might listen to Low first. Blame my friend for that one. My friend, if I had my favorite song, my friend played Low, I'm not going to complain because that song's a banger. But but yeah, what can I say? The good old days. But yeah, interesting vid. But yeah, I'ma head out. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want. I post if whenever I feel like it. I'll see you next one. Bye.